Hello guys, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this message, it reads like this. Hello my brother, how are you? I am a 33-year-old woman and this is my first marriage. Can you please post for me as hidden identity? I am looking for any kind of advice, especially from the women that got involved with men that had children, with men that had been married before. How are you handling your stepchildren? Because as for me, it seems as if I am failing. I am about to walk out of this marriage. What is happening to me, my brother, is that I kept myself pure for a very long time. Then I got married to my husband when I was 27. Me and my husband, we just come almost from the same area, but we met in a foreign country. My husband is a well-established man in this country where we are staying. When we met, when we fell in love, we dated for a long period of time before we eventually moved in together. Then we started to stay as husband and wife. At that time, my husband's daughter was still back home in Zim. She had not yet came here into this country where we are staying. Over the phone, me and my stepdaughter, we really had a very good relationship. But when she came to stay with us, I don't even know how to say this, and people out there are going to think that I am an evil woman. But my husband's daughter, she is just like the devil himself. The mother of this child that he was married to mysteriously died in a car accident. And when I started to date this man, I used to dream of this other woman, but after being prayed for, then those visions totally disappeared. Those visions used to happen to me whenever I would have fallen asleep during daytime. That woman never came to visit me at night. She only would come to me when I would have taken a nap during daytime. But after I had gone to the white garments churches, that is when they gave me some prayers. After I had used those prayers and the water that they had given me to drink and some of it to bath with, that is when the vision of that woman disappeared. I finally thought that I was now going to be able to enjoy my marriage because everything was there. We are staying in the suburbs. My husband is someone who is well financially established in the country where we are staying. So there was no way for me to become stressed. When I got married to him, he told me that he doesn't want a woman that goes to work, and I was really happy not to go to work anymore. I only wanted him to take care of me. The more that I spoke with my stepdaughter, the more that the bond that was between us grew much stronger. Until when I had fallen pregnant, I then told my husband that I wanted someone who could assist me. So I asked him if we could transfer our daughter, my stepdaughter, coming here so that she can stay with us, because I wanted someone to assist me throughout the day, because I am someone who does not believe that a woman that is still capable of washing and taking care of her husband should have a maid. I just grew up in a family setup that was like that. My husband then agreed. At that time, when I had asked my husband to fetch our daughter that was still in Zim, I was only 2 months pregnant. That is the first time that I had a miscarriage. As we are speaking right now, I have had about 3 miscarriages, and all of these miscarriages, my brother, they happened one after each other. And I can trace back those miscarriages to the dreams that I had and everything that my stepdaughter told me. Because on the last miscarriage that I had, as we were busy shouting at each other, she then pointed at my stomach. Then she said that you are never going to give birth. Then I said, what? She walked away from me and she went and she locked herself up in the bedroom. When her father returned back at home, as a man who is very peaceful, I spoke with him in a very nice way, but he truly surprised me on that day. Then he said, no, children do not even know the consequences of some of the things that they say. On that night, I wanted him to speak with our daughter so that she can know that there are things that you are not supposed to say, because I grew up in a family setting where I was told that words have power. And after having the miscarriage, that is when I started to calculate, and I saw that maybe this stepdaughter of mine, maybe she is just a witch, because sometimes when she is coming from school, she can be so moody that you will be afraid of her. As soon as she walks into the house, she will just remove her shoes in the kitchen, drop her bag, and walk straight to her bedroom. She spends most of her time locked up in the bedroom. I have tried to discipline her, not by beating her or anything, because my husband told me that I do not have the right to beat his child. And this he told me whilst my stepdaughter was listening. So I feel as if my stepdaughter, most of the times when she does anything that she does, she do it because she know that there is nothing that I can do to stop her. Okay, if she was just stubborn, then I was not going to have any problem with her. Last year, me, my husband, and our stepdaughter, we traveled back to Zim. When we traveled back to Zim, I then had to go and see my mom back in our village. In the village where my mom is staying, water is very scarce. It is very difficult to find. We have to walk for more than a kilometer from the place where my mom is staying, going to this other house that has the only borehole that is in the neighboring area. I then sent my stepdaughter with some of my mother's grandchildren so that they can go and fetch water. She stubbornly refused, but after shouting with her, she cried as she followed along my mother's grandchildren. They went together, and upon their return, I then saw that my husband's daughter was not with the others. I then took the car so that I can follow her before my husband could notice. Before my husband would notice, I didn't want him to feel bad, thinking that maybe we were mistreating his daughter. So I drove the car, and when I arrived at that place where there is a borehole, I then asked the owners of the house if they had seen my stepdaughter. Then they told me that she had gone to fetch water from the river. I was really scared because she didn't even know anything about fetching water from the river. I drove so fast, my brother, I nearly hit a tree because I was asking myself, if this child gets dragged into the river by a crocodile, how am I going to explain the situation to my husband? As I was approaching the river, I found a place where I could park the car. I walked, my brother, I don't know for how many minutes, until I finally heard someone singing. I followed the voice of the girl that was singing, and the next thing that I saw, my brother, really shocked me. She was dancing whilst she was standing in the river. And when I asked her what she was doing, why she was dancing in such a weird way, she was shocked. She just looked at me. Then she got out of the river. Then she ran straight to the car. She entered into the car. And when I was with her in the car as we were driving back home, I tried to speak with her as if I was her mother. I really wanted to cry, but she just shouted at me. Then she said, "Stop acting up because you are not my mother." When she told me that I was not her mother and I should stop pretending as if I care for her, I was deeply hurt because at that time I was really scared for her life. We drove back home. Then I sat down with my husband and I told my husband that from today onwards, I was never going to try and discipline his daughter. Even now, my brother, we are still staying together, but we no longer have that unity, because whenever I try to complain about the things that my husband's daughter does, whenever my husband is not at home, my husband will think that maybe I am one of those evil stepmothers. When we were back here in this country where we are staying, I went to those white garment churches. Then they told me that my stepdaughter is being used by her grandmother so that I can have these miscarriages. I have been having miscarriages ever since I got into this marriage. With this prophecy that had been given to me me. I then told my auntie, my mom's sister, who is also staying in this country, but when she came to visit us, then my stepdaughter started to act as if she is a very disciplined child. My auntie then told me that everything that I am saying, it is just nonsense, and she does not believe in this white garment prophet. When my auntie left, as I was going with her so that she can catch a taxi, she said, if you are too horny that you want to sleep with all of these prophets that are all over South Africa, you should just say so. But make sure that you will do your horny things when you have separated from this good man. Why do you want there to be a division between your husband and his child? Why can't you love your husband? Why can't you love his child the way that you love? Please, my brother, post my story. I feel as if I am going crazy. I am asking for advice. How do I speak with my husband? Because as for my husband, he does not want anything that has to do with white garment churches. He doesn't want to pray, and I think that maybe he is being blinded by evil spirit. I am scared of this child. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our dear sister. Then I had to ask for one of our admins to give us a translation. Are you a stepmom? Do you have any story that you want to share with us? Are you a stepfather? If you are, please feel free to come to our WhatsApp number and leave a voice note, or you can just write your story.